Well, Justin Brownlee's proven. I mean, if you are getting an import for the next conference and you're Barangay Ginebra, if it's not Justin Brownlee, then who else could it be? Coach Richard De Rosario already said that if it was up to him, he would pick him up from the airport himself. And that is just the value of Justin Brownlee. We were not lucky enough to live in the time of the great imports of the PBA yesteryears. But in terms of this era, Justin Brownlee is the best that we could see. And it's really good to have him back in the PBA. Really excited to see him. Just wanted to clarify, this is my list, okay? I mean, I'm sure everyone will have their own list of which imports they find exciting. But for my list, I think these are the 5 that I would be very interested to watch when we get the season going again.
All right, hey Carlo, your mic's a bit airy right now. I think it's bouncing off against your shirt. But yeah, your point about Justin Brownlee is well taken, and of course he is the resident import Barangay Ginebra, and the reason why they bring him back over and over is because he is a 4-time PBA champion already and eager to look for the next one. So your next one here, who does he have?
Second off your list is Henry Walker, and he was an ex-NBA player with 5 seasons in the league. Anong masasabi mo sa kanya, Carlo?
So Henry Walker is proven. You don't make it to the NBA, you don't stay in the NBA if you are not a good basketball player. Another thing that I like about Henry Walker is that he knows how to play in the PBA. He has extensive experience playing in the league. It will be, his 4th team. He played for Blackwater, played for Alaska, played for the Road Warriors. So he will be playing for the Rain or Shine Las Painters next. So he has what it takes to play in the PBA, and he knows how to bring his team to the next level. You remember those Blackwater teams and how, in terms of talent, we're not really up there in terms of the best in the PBA, but they were able to make things work. They were able to upset a couple of really good teams because of the leadership, because of the help that they got coming from Henry Walker. He's an outstanding playmaker. He is an unselfish player. He just knows how to play basketball. He knows how to win, and he is exactly what Rain or Shine needs. Because if you look at Rain or Shine, hindi nila kailangan talaga ng magdo-dominate ng laro. That's not what they do as a team. They are, just as strong as their totals. And that is what Henry Walker brings to the table. He will make everyone better for Rain or Shine.
Yeah, the hunger is there for sure. A lot of tours here, and of course, a bit of silverware, a bit of trophies would make everything, the whole experience here in the Philippines a lot better. Now, moving on, you have a more veteran import here, doesn't he, Ai?
Yeah. And you talk about Mike Harris, and you're saying na he's hungry for another shot. Ano masasabi mong edge niya at 38 years old, Carlo?
Well, the last import that Magnolia had some success with was Romeo Travis. And it just so happened that Romeo Travis went up against Mike Harris in the finals when the Magnolia franchise went up against Alaska for the Governor's Cup finals. Mike Harris might be 38, but what we saw from him, even if he was older than a lot of the other imports, was that he is in great physical conditioning. Hindi niya pinapabayaan yung sarili niya. He was raring actually to go back and try to finish business with the Alaska Aces, but it came in a time where they also transitioned, coming from Coach Alex Compton to Coach Jeffrey Carriazo, so that kind of fell apart. But he gets another chance here with a team that he is very familiar with because he battled them in the finals. You have Paul Lee, the best player of that conference. You have Finals MVP Mark Barroca for Magnolia when they defeated Alaska. So he will be, familiar with some of the players that he will meet with the Magnolia Hotshots. He is a well-traveled veteran. He has played all over the world, and he is a pro's pro. That is what Magnolia is getting from Mike Harris.
Of course, that is ex-Utah Jazz player Mike Harris. But yes, you're right. Let's see what's gonna happen with him, especially with Magnolia eager to not just make it to the final strip again and hopefully come away with a trophy. Now up next, couple big names here. We'll start off with KJ McDaniels for the NLEX Road Warriors. Again, very familiar face to Filipino hoop fans. What will make him different this time around suiting up for NLEX?
I thought for sure he would go back to TNT because they had a great run with him, but of course TNT deciding to go with Mackenzie Moore instead. KJ McDaniels, when he played in the PBA, led the league in blocks. So when you have a talent of his caliber, a former NBA player, a talented scorer, had a 50-point game in the PBA. If you have someone like him playing that kind of effort on defense, then you know you have someone you can rely on to win you games. KJ McDaniels brings that. He brings the pedigree, he brings the scoring ability, the playmaking, and the energy on both ends to make any team that he will join, effective in the PBA. And it just so happened that he goes with the NLEX Road Warriors. Of course, we're still unsure what the state of Kiefer Ravena would be for the upcoming conference for the Road Warriors, so they would need a lot of scoring help as well. We all know that it was a bit of a problem for the Road Warriors in terms of scoring because, when you have Kevin Alas and Jericho Cruz being defended well by the opposing team, then their offense kind of slows down, and KJ McDaniels can fill in the void, can fill the gaps of their offense, and also correct a lot of the errors on defense because of his athleticism and his intelligence.
All right, Ai, last but not least.
You know what, Carlo? Let's talk about Shabazz Muhammad filling in the shoes for Alan Durham for Meralco.
You know what? Meralco is known as a team that really gets good imports. I mean, they are always almost guaranteed of an outstanding import, even in the Commissioner's Cup when they have players such as Arinze Onuaku and Alex Stevenson. Of course, Alan Durham has been their go-to guy in the Governor's Cup. In Shabazz Muhammad, you have someone who has proven pedigree. He has played in the NBA, had an entire season where he scored double digits for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So you know that he can score at the prime time capacity. He is in his physical prime. If you talk about the 30-year-old Mike Harris, he is a decade younger. 28 years old in the prime of his career, and eager to really reintroduce himself rather to the Filipino basketball fans. You know that he is coming in hot because there will be a lot of expectations. He was a big name coming into the NBA. He was a 14th pick overall. Of course, things did not necessarily pan out the way that he wanted. He would have wanted it to with his NBA career, but he will try to find success elsewhere. And as we know, Meralco is truly building something with that franchise. Usually, they struggle in the Philippine Cup, but back-to-back stints in the semifinals of the two Philippine Cups that we've just had, and now they add a talent like Shabazz Muhammad, and it should just be outstanding for them moving forward.